Hi guys, this is Fo, the Weekend Gamer. So let's take a look at the Surface Pro 7, which I bought last week. So I've had a week to work with this. I really, I really love it. Um, it's full Windows. I think that's the thing that you have to understand when you're switching from, say, an iPad. Is the iPad OS has is very limited in what you can do with it, especially with file size and manipulation. And so with the Surface Pro 7, you get basically Windows and all this filing system. And I can't stress enough how if you want to be productive, if you want to share and move files around, that's really a great way to use your computer. Okay, so since I got the entry model with the i3 chip, Intel and the Intel UHD graphics uh, built-in graphics card, it's not going to be the fastest model. So if you can afford it, go for the i5 or the i7. They can range up to $2,000, but the entry model I think retails for about $700. I picked this up with the keyboard case for $600, so $599, which I think is a phenomenal deal. And if you can get it at that price, definitely pull the trigger for it. First thing I want to mention is it has the keyboard is great. You can lay it flat. It does tend to wobble a bit, but it also will stick to the screen, so it gives you kind of like a slight angle. And again, that the wobbly factor is there, but there's just by design it's like that. It's not gonna break it, and you can type on it. It's fine for typing. Um, what else? When you close the case, it puts the Surface Pro into sleep mode, and in sleep mode, it has instant on, which I think a lot of people don't really mention. So I'll show you an example. So you close it, turns off. When you open it, it has instant on, and it has hello. So hopefully it should recognize me, and I think the happy face means that it recognized me. It won't open because I think I set it so it won't automatically open. But if you just press enter, it will log you back in. Um, but that's actually a feature that I don't think a lot of people really stress is the instant on feature. The Hello, the Microsoft Hello, it works and it sometimes doesn't work, and a lot of time it doesn't work because it really requires a lot of lights. So if there's no lights coming out, it won't see you, and even though it has some kind of ambient lights and stuff, it's just not very good, and so half the time it doesn't work. But that's fine. You can always enter in your password, which I feel is a little more secure. I would like to get like a fingerprint reader so you can instant on. Um, okay, what else? So okay, so it does have a another thing it does have that a lot of people don't really mention is the speaker is built on the side, so when you hear it, it sounds great. If you do end up getting a pin, um, here's the pin. It will stick to the side of the tablet, but it's not very good. Like, I mean, it's pretty good when you try to pull it off. It's pretty, um, it sticks on pretty well, but then if you push it down like this, it's gonna fall off. So you can see it just will fall off. So I'm worried when you put it in your bag, it's gonna fall off, and I wish there was a better way of securing it. Now I've seen the feature where they actually put the pin inside the keyboard case, which I think is a really smart idea, where they put the pin in here, and then it folds up to hide the pin. That is for the future, not so I'm hoping actually they will sell a keyboard similar to this with the pen and you can use it for your Surface Pro 7. So if they do release something like that, I'm definitely really interested in. Not really looking forward to paying $100 for the pen again for the keyboard, but we'll see. So yeah, so if you're gonna bring a pen with you, I'm gonna say like be really careful about this falling off and losing your pen. So yeah, that the Surface Pro, I think it's so small, so slim. I'm gonna show you an example from 10 years ago. This is what I was coming from. This is the HP laptop. It's like what model is this? This is the HP Pavilion TX2000. Now this is for its time, 10 years ago, this was great. It has multimedia control, SD card or a big SD card, a CD-ROM or DVD-ROM to DVD, wireless for the controller, on-off switch, mic, headphone, a wireless you can turn off and on manually. So if you don't want your Wi-Fi on, you can turn it off, turn it on. It's pretty sweet. And then it has a pen input. Let's see if I can. This is a pen. USB, Ethernet, expansion port, which I've never really used, but I guess you can get external monitors this way. External, regular DP external. And then this is SD out or Super VGA out maybe. Never really had to use. I used this before to get a bigger screen. Media playback you can control on the top of the screen as well. Removable, replaceable battery, which is huge. And this thing, yeah, more USB, and then a telephone. You remember telephones? A Kenison lock, and it's pretty good. I mean, for its time. Now this was about $1,000, and for what I've used it for, it was good for about a year or two before. This thing is a ton. It weighs a ton too. This is probably like I want to say like 8 pounds or so. It feels really heavy. It feels like 8. Something like this, super light, portable. I really love it. Now, of course, you can live the iPad lifestyle. iPad offers a similar product, the iPad Pro with the keyboard, and if you want a docking station, they do sell dongles that you can get to adapt to your monitor. They do offer a pen, which I think their pen or their pencil is actually superior, I think, than the Microsoft one. But the Microsoft one, what's nice about it, and I'll show you. Let's see, kickstand. So, okay, so the Microsoft on the pen. The nice thing is this integrated with the Surface Pro 7. So if you tap this, it brings up, hopefully it should bring up whiteboard. Okay, maybe it's not. Okay, there it takes it. Remember, this is the i5 model, and you can like create a new thing, which let's draw Superman. And it's pretty good as far as obviously okay, so it's pretty good, but the whiteboard is actually not a very robust software, but it's nice that you can bring it up just with the tap. It's actually really meant for like note takings and stuff like that. So Microsoft is all about business and stuff. So if you want to do a post-it note, you can also, um, you know, uh, you can add more post-it notes or make different colors if you don't want that. I think you can change the color here. All right, but yeah, you can have. It's kind of nice. I don't really use it as much, and I think I kind of regret buying the pen input because one, it's not very sturdy, and then two, I feel it's not as good as for drawing as it is for the iPad. But it's nice to have this option. Well, obviously you can use Photoshop with your pen, which I think works a lot better. And I know Photoshop just came out on the iPad, but their version on iOS is just a GIMP version. You're not getting the full Photoshop experience. And it's just something very nice about running full Photoshop on a tablet like this. I use the Surface Pro exclusively as a landscape or like a desktop mode. There is the option of switching it over to tablet mode, which I've never really used or really don't care to use, but it's there for you if you like to use this as a tablet. I will have to say that some stuff like that tablet usage, such as reading comics on Comixology, is not really recommended because there's no app on the Windows Microsoft Store, and this is the fault of Comixology, which kind of encourage piracy basically on your you mean I guess their Comixology say you can read the comics through their a web browser, but I don't like that experience because you can't do offline reading. Having said that, oh, the other thing is you can turn this tip around for the pen and then just delete it as an eraser. So this is something that Apple has yet to do, which I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me. And you can use it with Word. I think Word offers a Word 2013, so you can use it. The pen is built into Word too, so yeah, there's the pen input option there. So it's very nice. I'm assuming I actually haven't really dig too much into it, but I'm assuming Apple also has built-in pencil support in their docks as well. And overall, like I said, this I think if you can get it for about $500, $600, really a great price. I am so impressed actually that I think my next tablet is, if I decide to upgrade, it's going to be Surface Pro all the way. I think I really love it. Or you can get the, if you can't afford it, I think Microsoft also offer the Microsoft Go, which is a 10-inch version of this with more limited windows, but you can upgrade that Windows to Windows Home. And pretty much that's it. Thanks for watching. Hi guys, so so what's funny is I didn't realize it, but my camera was auto adjusting the brightness when I had the Surface Pro on, so it was looking at the screen and adjusting the light, so a lot of the videos I shot was not usable. So I'm gonna reshoot this part here and then kind of talk to you about this docking station that Microsoft sells. This is the Surface Pro dock. Here is the box here, the Microsoft Surface dock, and this is the box it comes in. Very elongated dock. What you get is the actual dock itself. It's very heavy. And it's heavy for a reason, so that it doesn't move around your desk, and you can plug in cables and have external display. On the bottom has it's a rubbery grip like thing that's supposed to secure your dock. So here's the power. You can get Ethernet. I'm going to hold it a little closer. Ethernet volume out. So if you have external speakers or better speakers, you can plug it in, and so your Surface Pro will become a much better media. And it has two micro HDMI out, which I prefer the full HDMI, but you can, they do sell adapters for these. They're just going to run you about $6 or $7. And if you buy this on Amazon, it's going to recommend the cable with it. So just go with that cable. I think I got a 6-foot cable for about, I want to say $6 or $7, and it works fine. You can get a Micro Center, I think, for $12. So it depends on where you can buy the cable from. But I wish it was a full-size HDMI. But it works. So you get two of them. That means you can hook up like a dual monitor setup with your Surface Pro if you need to. Has two USB here and then two in the front. So overall, if you're going to be productive, definitely check out the dock. There is another dock that I looked at, which makes it the Surface Pro into a mini Surface Pro Touch or whatever, a Surface Pro, and it has the same connector. Oh, by the way, speaking of connectors, so this uses the connector for, it's like a magnetic, and it'll stick to the Pro on the side here, like that, and it's really great because this can also be kind of like a secondary power. So if you need to charge your iPad Pro and you want to get another charger, this will be your secondary charger. Now, because the Pro comes with the Surface Pro 7, at least, comes with a USB-C. You can use that to charge your tablet as well, but you need at least, I want to say, 30 watts to charge it. So not any charger will charge it. You need a certain amount of wattage. So if you have fast charging, it will work on the Pro. All right. Oh, by the way, just also I wanted to mention, when you disconnect it from your Surface Pro, for some reason, the dock will still give power and maybe HDMI out to your monitor and keyboard. But if your monitor and keyboard will turn off, it will turn off. But for some reason, the Corsair keyboard, the light will remain on, which is very annoying. But I feel that is the product, Corsair is at fault, not the actual dock. Yeah, Corsair's keyboard is pretty awful, I guess, as far as need in software to make it light up and all that sort of stuff. So I don't recommend it. I'm gonna probably look into getting another mechanical keyboard just for the Surface Pro, so I can work on it when I'm docked in. Okay, so also I wanted to show you a bit of gameplay on the Surface Pro. It's not gonna, let's see, hello. So it is, we're gonna launch GOG here. So let's see, install game. Now, a lot of games won't work well with the Surface Pro 7, as you can expect. It is not designed as a gaming laptop, but you can get older games to run on it. So I got Street Fighter V to run on this, but it was not a good experience. I mean, I can run it. I got Diablo 3 to run it, but it's also not good. But so far, I think the best one I've played around with is really old games like Diablo, the original. We'll play. We're gonna do Hellfire because that's what I've been playing. So yeah, as you can see, it loads up pretty well. Video's playing. Now this is like a 20-year-old game, so of course it's gonna run nicely. the original game is obviously a lower resolution. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you can use your touchpad. I don't recommend it. I recommend getting a keyboard to plug in and then play the game. So that's Diablo. Let's see, I'm gonna save it and quit. Yeah, 20-year-old game will run very well on this. Galaga would run amazing on this. Let's see, download. What did I download or installed? But yeah, I mean, Metal Slug will run. You know, or any arcade will run on this. Again, this is not a gaming laptop, so it's not going to run the latest game. But the beauty of this is all your games, all your Intel-based game will at least load onto the laptop, and it will run, but not very well in some cases. So I don't recommend it. So yeah, finally I'm going to talk about storage. Obviously you're going to be limited to the storage that comes with the laptop. Now the model I have is the 128 gigabyte of data. So it's you know, and I think a large percent of it, or at least a bit of it, is going to take up with Windows 10. The full Windows 10 is going to be on your local C drive. So your alternative is going to be using the SD card, which is actually meant to as a card reader to read. You know, like if you take photos, you can just pop in the micro SD so it can read your video, you know, photos. But but I'm going to use it as an external, basically an external hard drive. So it's permanently in here. Now I got the largest size I can get for the money, which is 256 gigabyte, and you can get this at Micro Center for about $24. That's a good deal. Now you can get a 512 gig card, and there's 1 terabyte, I believe, is the maximum you can get for a micro SD card. The prices are astronomical when you get above 256, so keep that in mind. I've already filled it up about half, as you can see, and that's mostly just games that I've installed on it. So yeah, this is just extra storage. Now, if you need more storage, I'm going to recommend using Google Drive to install a folder. So this is actually my Google Drive. So what I do is all my document that I want to share with my main computer, I make folders and I drop them into a certain folder. So I'll save in this location. So whatever I save here, it's going to show up on my main computer, and you can do this offline, so you can work without Wi-Fi, and then once you get home or go to a wireless network, it will sync to the Google Drive, and obviously any computer or device that has access to Google Drive, you're going to be able to get your files that way, which is pretty amazing. Now I believe Microsoft has OneDrive, which is actually built in to all Windows machine, and OneDrive is actually another solution you can use. That costs about $2 a month for a OneDrive, and you do get free storage to start with, but if you're going to use it a lot, I think you're just going to have to pay the $2. I've already paid for Google Drive, which costs about the same, $2 a month, $24 a year. And so I already use Google Drive, so it just makes more sense for me to use that rather than OneDrive. But between the two, I can see you guys using one or the other. I recommend both. I think, I mean, it depends on your workflow too. I mean, if you don't need shared access to files, you want to keep it local here, that's fine. Put it on your SD card. What else? But yeah, pretty much you're going to be limited on space, is what I'm saying. But like I said, you can pay more for the $2,000 model, and that comes with, I think, 512 gigabyte of storage built in. So, all right, thank you for watching again.